Welcome to this library session. We're going to cover health science's greatest hits today. My name is Laura Rice. I'm the library director here at Saybrook. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. And I just want to first point out that there are program-specific guides for the various programs. So if you come over to the tab, I'm on the library homepage right now. We do have an instructional guides page. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you'll see that we have a number of online guides, and we have some for specific programs. So if you're watching this, you may be interested in the Integrative and Functional Nutrition Guide, perhaps the Mind Body Medicine Guide, and maybe even the Psychophysiology Guide that kind of crosses the worlds between psychology and health sciences. So let me just show you what one of these looks like. I'm going to come over here, excuse me, to the Saybrook Integrative and Functional Nutrition Guide. You can see that it looks very similar to the way that the library page is laid out. So it should be comfortable to use. So the site is organized by searching for articles, ebooks, videos, reference data sets and statistics sites, websites, tools and calculators, search tips, and then some information about getting help from the library. So what I've done in each of these guides is I've gone through and I've selected some of the top journal databases, for instance, under the articles section. These do appear in our A to Z database list, but this is a quick reference, and there's some things here that you might have an interest in. And then for ebooks, typically it's best to use OneSearch for ebooks. We'll get into that a little bit later, but there's some information here. We also do have a number of streaming videos, reference data sets and statistics in case you're doing any kind of health statistics or you need to refer to any kind of nutrition data. Here's websites. So in websites, we've got a listing of several professional associations that you might have an interest in. And then I also included a bunch of helpful websites and some podcasts. For the Integrative and Functional Nutrition Guide, we do have some tools and calculators that will be perhaps of interest to you. I also want to show you the Mind Body Medicine Guide and just show you that it's pretty much set up very similar. Articles with some of the top article databases, journal databases, and then also a whole thing on ebooks here, suggested ebook strategies. I've also put some recommended ebooks of interest, video and image databases in case you need to do anything with the human anatomy and whatnot. Again, same reference data sets and statistics. And I've also included helpful websites and podcasts of interest to you. So I would say I would highly recommend that you bookmark the guide for your program. Again, we have some for psychophysiology. I know a lot of our programs at Saybrook kind of cross various disciplines. So you may want to take a look at some of these. Anyway, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and get back on the library homepage. Before we get into OneSearch, which is our main search engine, and it's tied to our catalog of all our resources. One thing I want to make you aware of is a tool called Browsine. It's also called our Journal Finder. You can find it down here in the quick links. So if I click on it, it's going to take you into Browsine, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about this. So you can reach Browsine that way. Or one of the favorite ways that I have to just do any kind of searching in the library is to go to the OneSearch homepage, because this little box you see here in the front is just an abbreviated version of OneSearch. The actual full OneSearch page is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now I'm on the OneSearch page. So this is where you can search for articles, you can search for journals, you can search for a DOI number, you can go to our A to Z database list, you can keep track of any favorite searches that you have. You can keep track of any interlibrary loan articles you've requested, which is our borrowing service from other libraries. So what I do is I always come to the OneSearch main page, and then I just click sign in. And now if I want to click on any articles or get around, I'm signed into the library with my Saybrook password and email address. So in browsing, so we saw that we could get to the journal finder on the home page, but there's also a link up here called Journals A to Z, and I'm just going to show you that. So here we are at browsing. So you can browse various subjects, for instance, biological sciences, biomedical and health sciences, social science and behavioral science. So we cross over into different areas here. So if I just, for instance, click on biomedical and health sciences, you can see that there's all the journals here in that area. They automatically sort by A to Z, but you can sort them by journal rank as well, okay? Or you can sort them by A to Z. So what you can see here over on the left side where I've got my cursor, there's a number of different specialties. So for instance, if you're integrative and functional nutrition, you might want to come and check out all the nutrition journals. And then that's further subdivided by dietetics and clinical nutrition, international and community nutrition, molecular. So you can see that each of these topics has subcategories and then further subcategories. So one of the advantages to coming in and looking through browsing is because browsing is similar to when you used to go into a physical library. I know a lot of people don't use a physical library anymore, and so many things have moved online, but you would often find one particular item that maybe you looked up in the catalog or even in a card catalog if you go back even further. But anyway, you would find that one item, and then you went to the shelf and you found so many more related items around it. So it was a nice way to go browsing. Browsing is a legitimate search. It's very difficult nowadays in a very online environment, but there are aspects of it that can still work for today. So I'll just show you a little bit. So I'm curious to see if we have any mind body medicine subjects. Okay, so we have at least one journal here, Advances in Mind Body Medicine. Okay, and what it does, it's taking us over to OneSearch. You can see how it's connected. So in Advances in Mind Body Medicine, there are some articles in ProQuest Central. I can go ahead and I can look through, I can try to search within here for articles throughout this whole entire journal. So maybe if I look up a topic like mindful meditation. So then I've got 4 results here. Okay, so that's one way that you can look within a journal. But let me just show you a little bit more. Let's try, I want to show you what it's like to search in some of the nutrition journals. So let's say I go to, how about nutrition and diabetes? We'll look at a journal like this. So I'm pulling up this journal because it's in our browsing library. And what you're seeing is the most recent issue, volume 13, issue 1. And you'll see a listing of all the various years that we have to this nutrition magazine. So sometimes when you are not sure what subject, maybe you have a paper where you have to write on a topic and you're not really sure what to write on, or maybe you're just trying to keep up with the most recent articles in your field. So maybe your particular interest is in diabetes and nutrition. This is an article, this is a magazine, a journal that you can keep track of. You can put this journal into your little bookshelf. If you see, I created an account and I have a bookshelf containing some journals that I like to read, and I can just regularly come back to them by going into my bookshelf. But you can create your own bookshelf, and you can create several bookshelves with your favorite journals, and you can categorize them. But sometimes it's good to browse because it gives you ideas for maybe a topic that you may not have otherwise considered. So you might start looking through some of these journal articles to help you stay current or to maybe find a topic when you're not really sure. Trends in dietary patterns over the last decade and their association with long-term mortality. That might jigger you to like kind of think of some other studies, but it's good to stay up on this. So then if that's not really an efficient way for you, because obviously that's not the most efficient way of searching, it has its good sides and its down. If you do want to look specifically within this journal, you can come over here and see where I'm putting my cursor, and I've got see all. This is where I can be led into the OneSearch listing for this magazine. We subscribe to this, and I can go into this journal, and now I can look. I don't know, maybe keto, if you're thinking about maybe the keto diet, because obviously nutrition and diabetes, I would expect to find some information about keto diet. So I can search within this journal, and now I'm going to go ahead and look through it. That is very weird that I'm not finding keto diet. That's a little bit of a surprise. Let's try again. I'm highly surprised by that because I'm looking within this journal. So that's kind of odd that we wouldn't find something. Let me just put the word in, make sure we're not having some kind of connection issue. Okay, so I've got something going on with keto. I'm not quite sure what that could be, but obviously, I might want to play around with this a little bit, but maybe I'm not really picking, maybe ketogenic is a term I need to use, or maybe something else. So anyway, maybe weight loss, if I put a term in such as that, or diet therapy or something, I might have. So maybe that was too narrow of a topic, and maybe there aren't any articles in this particular journal, but you most likely, I've got 565 results here. So, but anyway, it is a good way of searching. So I would suggest that you get familiar with browsing, the browsing library, and it's a good way to kind of connect with the journals that we have. And I think I linked to it in some of the specific guides anyway. So now let's just get back to the library homepage, or the OneSearch page. Okay, so I'm back to OneSearch. So usually a good way to begin looking on any topic is OneSearch with keywords. These search engines have gotten pretty sophisticated, and it really is a good way to get started. So let's say I want to, I'm interested in chronic pain. That might be an area of interest for me. So I can just start by putting in chronic pain. And maybe I'm interested in treatments or therapy for chronic pain. So I can just literally put in these keywords. Just do therapy. I got to make sure I'm spelling correctly. This is a good way to get started. Okay, so I click my magnifying glass, and it pulls up 92,000 results. You can see here. Okay, so that's a lot of results, too many results. It would be very unwieldy to go through all those results. So now is where I start to think, okay, I want to hone in a little bit more. What part of chronic pain and therapy am I interested in? Okay, well, maybe I'm interested in chronic pain and therapy and elderly patients, for instance. Okay, so that's just by adding another keyword, it's looking for articles that have all three of these terms in it. So, you can find a lot of things with chronic pain and therapy, but now I'm adding a third term. So let's see if we can get those results down even further. Sure enough, I've gone all the way down to 2,242 results, because now this is getting, I'm kind of zeroing in a little bit more on chronic pain therapy for elderly. And you can see right off the bat from the results here, you can start to see that I'm getting closer. Now, I may want to continue further narrowing my results, and that's where you can do it over here in the tweak your results section. So for many of you being at the graduate level, you're going to have to use peer-reviewed journals in your article. When you search in OneSearch like this, you're going to get newspaper articles. journal articles, peer-reviewed journal articles, you'll get books, you'll get videos, you'll get all kinds of things. So you may just want to limit your search to peer-reviewed journals. So all you have to do is come over to your results over here, and you just apply your filter. And now we're just looking in peer-reviewed articles. So now I've gone from 2000, little over 2000 to 1800. So I've gotten a little bit closer. Now you can also narrow down. I see that this article is from 2008, and that's a little bit of a red flag particularly in the health sciences, because one of the things you need to do, there's so many advances constantly being made every day, and we want to make sure we're getting current advice. I remember I used to be a culinary librarian, and the temperatures at which you cook pork used to be really, really high, and they lowered it significantly, and you wouldn't get trichinosis if you lowered and cooked pork at lower temperatures. And when I would assist students in looking for articles and things, I had to make sure you're getting the more recent stuff, because studies have come out. And, the way we used to cook pork 20 years ago is very different from the way pork can be cooked now. Same thing with any of these. Sometimes they find that there are therapies or medications that end up being dangerous for people. So you want to make sure you're getting more recent articles. If you have components within your research that's more historical, you can go a little bit further back, but you want to generally keep your results to about the last 5 years, maybe 6. Some of the journals have embargoes on them. You might not get the most recent articles, but anyway, but that said, make sure you understand that there isn't anything wrong with pulling up an article like this. So let me just show you that may be a 2008. So if I go in, every time I see an article I like, I'm not clicking here, okay. Every time I see an article I like, I think that might be relevant, I pull it up, I click the title so I can get the full index record. I can see that this article can be found in Medline, okay. The other thing I like to do is I like to come down and I like to see all the different subjects terms associated with aged, chronic disease, exercise therapy, pain rehabilitation, physical therapy modalities. By looking at these subject terms, I can get ideas for additional terms that I can be searching. I can either search them as keywords, or I can search them as controlled vocabulary subjects. We'll talk about that shortly. I also like to come down and read the abstract. They call it a description in the index record, but it lets me know if I want to, kind of read this article any further. A lot of times now in this particular record, I'm not seeing citations. Citations tracking is an important tool that you can use. I'm going to try another one to see if I can find one with citation tracking. Okay, I don't have one there. This is a good reminder that sometimes sometimes research is time consuming and it takes you a few times to find some things. This one, I'm finding sources that were cited in this article. Okay, so I want to find one that has articles that let's see. I want to find one with both. Well, I'm not finding it at the moment, but I'll just show you. Let me just explain the concept. Find sources that were cited in this article. The other one is find sources citing this article. And that's the one we want to find. Yeah, we're not, bear with me for one moment so we can make sure that we can show you a good example of this. Here we go. Okay, so we have in the citation section, find sources citing this article or sources cited in this. If you pick an article with a longer period ago than 5 years, this is your place to come. Come and take a look at the articles citing this article, because they would be written after this article. They used this article in their, so this would be a good way. So now this article is 2022. You're always going to find newer articles than what you see here, and there will be similar to whatever. So here's geriatric patients with nonspecific lower back pain. You may find something in such an article And a lot of times you'll see long lists of articles citing. So it's good to kind of do this citation tracking because it allows you to go ahead and find later articles. So that's why a lot of times on these creation dates, you can put your limiters back, 5 years and look that way. But you can also go back a little bit more and then look for articles that cite an older article, because then you might find newer articles. So just something to keep in mind. So that's basically looking in OneSearch. And the other thing that OneSearch is good for, okay, I'm just going to get back to a new search here, is searching for ebooks. Ebooks are mostly indexed in here. We do have a couple of other ebook databases that you can look in directly, but I often use, if a student is asking me for a book or an instructor is looking for a book, I typically use OneSearch to find the book. So here's an example. If I have a book title, I just, oops, here, let me do this. I want to, this is a title of a book that I know, Pain in an Age of Addiction. Okay, so this is a title that I know. If you come across it in an article, or you know this is the name of a book you want to take a look at, put it in quotation marks and pull it up in ebook in OneSearch, and you should be able to find it. So I've got the book here, and I've got a lot of the chapters within it. So this, you can see book. Here's a book review about that book, and then we have individual book chapters that get linked. So that's really a good way to look. The other thing you can do is, if you're just looking for books on a topic, you can come over here, filter by books, and then you can just put keywords in. So maybe we're looking for books about chronic pain and addiction. We don't know a specific book title, but we can limit our search to books and then just put some keywords in, and let's see what we get. Okay, so we've got 155 results here. So that's another way. So you can either look by a specific book title by putting in quotation marks, or you can use the advanced search and limit by books. We also have that set on the front of this page. So if you're looking for, and this is well, that's running the same search. So you can see that's just an abbreviated quick version. Okay. So that's looking for ebooks. Now, we were just looking at articles, and let me just close a few things up right here. Let me come back over here and get back to our OneSearch homepage. Every time I close out of it, I just automatically, like I said, sign back into it. Just one click. A lot of times people say, well, is everything searched in OneSearch? The answer to that question is no, not everything is searched in OneSearch, and I'll show you how to figure that out. You need to go to our A to Z database list. So that can be found here on the front page of the library. So if I click A to Z database list, it's going to open it up for me. But if I'm already in OneSearch, I can access it from here. A to Z database list. Okay, so the A to Z database list is a listing of all the databases that we subscribe to. You can see there are 332 here. I would say about 2/3 of these are subscription databases, and then we also link open access databases here as well that are free, but we organize them here. And you can search from here just to make it easier than searching out on the web. So for your disciplines, you can actually just look for health and medical science databases, and you'll get a listing of 82 databases specifically for health and medical sciences. One thing to keep in mind, you also want to consider looking for multidisciplinary databases, because again, a lot of the things in integrative and functional nutrition and mind-body medicine, they cross over different fields, and so you don't want to rule out any of those disciplines either. But anyway, but health and medical sciences is a good way to look through here. And you can see that some of, the titles here, Health and Medical Collection, Health Reference Center, Nursing and Allied Health. We've got some psych databases listed here because of the link between psych and health sciences. So if you see something that doesn't have a little magnifying glass after it, okay, like this, here's one. This is a video streaming database. It's called Academic Video Online Health Sciences. And it has a little magnifying glass icon after it. That means that if you search for a title that happens to be in this collection, it will show up in the results in one search, okay? Now, if you do not see that little icon, okay, and this is a good example because this is an excellent database for health sciences, you see that there is no magnifying glass here. So this would be a database I want to search in directly. Same thing here. Look at the Ackland's Video Atlas of Human Anatomy. This is a great video base for images and video, and we can see the body and things like that. You would have to search in this directly. So here's an example where I would want to come into HealthWatch and click the title and search that way. Okay, so now I can begin to search in here. Okay, and chronic pain management, it does some smart searching for you, but you can leave it. Oh, it corrected my spelling error. Okay, so I can just start there by searching for chronic pain. And I do have a lot of results here. Okay, I can also look up subjects to make sure. The earlier I mentioned to you that, rather than looking for just keywords, you can look up subjects. Okay, so this is more of a controlled vocabulary. So if I look up, maybe I look up pain, that's a pretty broad term. I want to see all the different kinds. So you can see there are many different kinds of pain. There's pain and suffering, that's in the area of law, pain management, pain threshold, pain clinics, pain diagnosis. So if I know that I'm trying to narrow in on, pain, maybe therapy is more pain management than it is, just pain, I can kind of hone in on looking through pain management, and I have, maybe better opportunity to search this as a category. So I'm going to add that to my search as a subject matter. And now I'm just looking for articles that indexers have determined this is an article about pain management. It's not just about pain, it's about pain management. And so that's why it's important to use these subject headings and these controlled vocabularies. I'll talk a little bit in a moment about MESH headings, medical subjects headings, but I just wanted to show you how, the difference between controlled vocabulary and keyword in a database like Alt HealthWatch. Okay, so again, make sure I do want to point out also, let me just default this to all our databases. There are a couple of databases that do not turn up. I don't believe they turn up in a one search. And these are for Saybrook only. We share a lot of our databases with our partner schools, TCS, which is the Chicago School, Pacific Oaks, Kansas School of Osteopath. But we have some of our own. And if I put in Marianne Liebert, it's a publishing company that has a lot of articles and journal titles that are very relevant to the Saybrook programs. So you can see Eco-Psychology, Medical Acupuncture, Journal of Medicinal Food, Alternative and Complementary Therapies, and the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine. So these are important journals that may get missed when you're searching. So make sure you come and take a look at these. All you do is click the title, and you can come in here. You can browse current issues. They have them organized here, but you also can search within these journals or other journals as well. So which one did I open up here? I opened up, I forgot which one I opened up here, which journal? Oh, complementary therapy. So, you know, we might want to do yoga. We might be looking for yoga. Oh, I didn't get any articles. That's odd. Boy, I'm picking these random things today. That's interesting that I didn't find. Oh, here we go. I guess, oh, I accidentally clicked something. Anyway, I just want you to be aware. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I want to make sure that you know that these journals are here and that you can come in and take a look at these and browse these journals. So please be aware of that. So let's go to, let's get back. I want to talk through a little bit, just some other things that might be of interest to you here. Let's get back to our instructional guides. So back in our instructional guides, I think I have one of them open here. Okay, let's go to the functional nutrition guide. So I do have some search information, you know, with some common search techniques. You know, if you're getting too many results for something, if you're getting too few results, I have some, you know, tips here for that. I have a PDF handout here on searching techniques that would help you. I also redirect you to a little section within the library about searching tips and techniques. So take a look at those. I have different types of information here, ways that you can read critically. But I also address in both this guide and also the Mind Body Medicine guide, I have a section on finding evidence-based articles because, you know, that's an aspect of your program that you're going to need to be aware of, and your instructors are probably going to be asking you to find evidence-based articles, or you're going to be doing evidence-based practice in your own practice. Evidence-based practice refers to using the best available evidence for decision-making and providing efficient and effective care for patients on a scientific basis. So a lot of the health science databases are going to have a place where you can filter by evidence-based practice. So here I have an example from a database called CINAHL Complete, which is a nursing and allied health database. And it does have a filter for evidence-based practice. So when you click that filter, it will limit your results to evidence-based practice or evidence-based articles. Okay. Another way you can do it is simply by putting the word evidence-based into a OneSearch search. So you can see here in my example on this page, I've got microbiota and evidence-based. Okay. So when I do that in OneSearch, maybe we can just go ahead and give it a try here. Let's see what I get. Okay, I just tried this. Okay, so I did it for the example in the article. So, okay, so introduction to the human gut. So what should be coming up now, and you can see that, you know, probably if I was to go into these, I'm going to find evidence-based practice in here. And if I just click on, you know, a couple of these articles, I should be able to find so probably by reading through, okay, and I can see my term coming up. This is an evidence-based recommendation. So this is a good way. So even just simply putting that term in quotation marks to find those two terms being used together. But again, if you are in, like, let's say CINAHL Complete, okay, which is the example, if I show you, let's find CINAHL. Okay, CINAHL Ultimate, excuse me, they updated it and they call it CINAHL Ultimate now. Okay, if I want to put in microbiota, and if I come down into my filters, you can see I have a number of ways that I can filter this further. And I can do them, you know, with case management. Here is where I can limit to evidence-based practice. Okay, so by limiting that, I'm going to find articles on microbiota and evidence-based practice. So that's a good way. And the other databases have limiters for that as well, but I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so there are a couple of ways there. Now I'm going to show you one more item that I think will be of interest to you. And I want to show you that now. Okay, if you look up at my little browser bar here, it's really tiny up here. You'll see a little tiny teardrop. And I'm not sure if you can see this, you have to look really closely, but it says, welcome to LibKey Nomad. Okay, we have an instructional guide here, and I want to point this out because I think it will be helpful for you. It's in the same place where these online program guides are, and it's called LibKey and Browsing. So I'm just going to click that real quick. So it says that LibKey Nomad is a browser extension that makes searching on the web and accessing content easier. While you're searching, you can quickly see if an article is available to you in the Saybrook Library databases. So what this does is a lot of times you're not in the library, you're looking on Google, and you come across an article and you find out that there's a paywall associated with that. And so what you can do is you can come over here and you can install the LibKey Nomad extension. I've got a link to it right here. You can download this little extension to your browser, whichever browser you're using, and then you can link it up with TCS Education System, which is our consortium name. If you're ever looking and you're prompted for an institution name, don't use Saybrook, use TCS or TCS Education System or TCS ES. That is what all our subscriptions are under. And you're going to link it to TCS and save your selection. And so then anytime you're out searching on Google, it will link to whatever we have in our library. So I want to show you this quick example. So I happen to have another, I have my browser open. So on the right side of my screen, I've got Firefox open, okay? And on the left side of my screen, I'm using Google Chrome, which was what I've been demonstrating to you. So I do have my little LibKey Nomad installed in Chrome. I do not have it installed on Firefox over here. So here we're looking at the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health site from the National Institutes of Health. And this is their page on evidence-based medicine literature reviews. So I'm just going to come over here and I want to show you side by side what it looks like when you do have LibKey Nomad and when you don't have LibKey Nomad. So you can see there's a bunch of topics here, and this might be interesting for you to come and look at. These are from the last 5 years. Help you stay up to date. Okay, I'm just going to pick acupuncture for chronic pain, systematic reviews. I'll do the same thing over here. Acupuncture for systematic reviews. Okay, so now you can see that these, I've got my same results, but you can see something looks very different with what you see. Okay, now you'll see I've got in the lower left corner of Chrome, I've got provided by TCS Education System. You do not see that over here. So if you were just looking without LibKey Nomad, you would have to come into each of these articles. Now I realize that many of them are free and you can get to them, but you'll often encounter articles that are not free when you're searching out on the web. So as I scroll down my list, you can see I've got download PDF. This one is just a download PDF. Okay, now I've come to one. Now, what is this? Access options, methods matter. Okay, if I was just looking out on the web, I'd come over here and I might be interested in this article. And I try to find, where can I find this article? Wiley, let's see if I can get it there. I know we subscribe to Wiley. It doesn't mean we necessarily have it. Here I've got to sign in. I don't belong, or I'm being prompted to purchase this article. Okay, it's going to cost me $39. This is a little bit of a dead end if I'm looking out online. Okay, let me pull that up. Now I see something called access options here. Okay, let me go ahead and click here. Okay, but now I have this different, I'm just going to come here. Let me see what this is. So by clicking access, how can I access this? So you can see that it's connecting me with OneSearch. And here's that article. Now I'm seeing something right here that says, get it for me from other libraries. Okay. Whenever I see that, it means we do not have this journal, but look what it's doing for me. It's setting me up to get this article. I've got to sign in first. Okay. It's setting me up to request this via interlibrary loan for free. So over here, I would have had to pay $39 or join the American Academy of Pain Medicine, which would involve a huge cost. Here, I can just press get it. I can acknowledge a copyright notice, and then I press send. And within 24 hours, I will have a digital copy delivered to my email box. So you thought you were over here kind of at a dead end. Look how easy this made it for me to just request this article. Okay. The other things I can do, many times you'll see one where, let me go backward. Let me close this up. Okay. And hit the back button. Here's one, effectiveness and safety of Chinese medicine. Okay, I don't know what this manuscript link is here, but I see that effectiveness and safety. Okay, I don't see anything here, and I don't see that it's free. So let me see what this is. Okay. Again, I don't have access to this. Springer, I know that we subscribe to Springer. Let's see if we have this here. Okay, it's prompting me to buy it to get the whole thing. It's just giving me a little brief. Okay, let me see what happens when I click the manuscript link on the left side in Chrome. Oh, look at that. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to open it up. And you can't see it, so let me bring it over from my other screen. Oh, it's given me the actual entire article in Microsoft Word format, and I can download this. So you see what value this has. This would have been a dead end for me over on Firefox, but over here, it's saving me that step. Okay. It even makes it quick and easy. If I look at this one, acupuncture for chronic prostatitis, I can just download this PDF right away, right out of TCS education system, right out of our library. Okay, so again, make sure that you come over to the instructional guides, you read about LibKeyNomad, this browser extension. Even when you're just searching on Google, for instance, pain site edu. I often put site edu to find articles from educational institutions, just to limit that. So if I come down here and I start looking through and I see some different articles, there's a good chance that I might be able to find some of these articles and just download them right here. I'm not sure. I'm just seeing some different things from universities, but a lot of times you've all had this experience where you're out searching on Google and you find an article. If I just let's just do articles. If I can, I'm just trying to find an example. Okay, here's one, chronic pain, stat pearls. Okay, let's see. That one just gives me the results outright. That's because that's from National Institutes of Health, which is a public site. The Lancet, I'm not sure if we subscribe to that or not, but here's an article from the Lancet. Oh, okay, so it is a subscription database. Let's say it's asking for a purchase, but look at, I'm allowed to download it because this is something that we do have in the Saybrook Library. So it's directing me to Elsevier. Let's see if it allows me to read the article. There you go. Okay, if I did not have that link on there, I would not have known that I was able to download this article, because right here it's telling me I need to subscribe to it or purchase it. Okay, so really handy little tool. It's not, it's not a replacement for searching in the databases, but it can save you some steps. So I think we're about at the end of our time. Before we wrap up, I want to show you this page. Get help. Whenever you need get help, you have a lot of different ways to reach us. We have an email address. This email address appears all over this library website, even the homepage, and within OneSearch itself. You can schedule an appointment link right here, or you can come down here where it says meet with a librarian. If you press schedule an appointment, it'll open up to our library calendar. It defaults in Pacific time. I have mine in Central time because that's where I am, but it'll open up appointment slots that we have available for you. If you can't find one, just let us know and we'll accommodate you at some way. There are also some forms here. Ask us a question, suggest a purchase for ebook or video, suggest a journal, and provide library feedback. It's just a little feedback form. The other thing you can do is click Ask the Library, and you'll also see the live chat button throughout the library page and when you're in the databases. If you want to start a chat, this is 24/7, even on holidays. So if the library is closed, we do have library live chat. It's even operating during our open hours. And you just type your name, your email. You're going to choose Saybrook because that's what we are. And if you're a student, and then you just type your question in and you start a chat. We get assistance from all over the world from cooperative librarians, and many of them can help you through basic questions or walking you through keywords and things like that. If it's something that's really Saybrook specific, they'll turn it into a ticket and I will follow up with you, usually within 24 to 48 hours, pretty quick. I mean, I try to answer things out of the queue pretty quickly. I'm here, 5 days a week. So, and we also are supported by Kirsten Klinghammer, who's our part-time reference librarian. So feel free to, at any time, reach out to us, make sure that you're getting the help you need, whether it's through a quick email, a quick chat, or if you want to sit down and have a half-hour or 1 hour reference consultation with us. I'm going to wrap it up. I thank you for your attention today, and I wish you happy searching. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.